according to officials. Joining me now for more on this is Jason Pack. He's a former firefighter and FEMA External Affairs Officer. He's also a retired FBI Supervisory Special Agent. Jason, thank you so much for joining us on this, frankly, remarkable news. What's your reaction to this number of missing people going down so dramatically?
Good morning, Danny. The reaction is that this is just emblematic of the hard work that's been going on behind the scenes. While a lot of the national spotlights kind of faded from Kerr County and the hill country there in Texas, the first responders and the people who are doing the forensic work of the dubious task of identifying all the victims of this flood have been really working around the clock in overtime to bring closure to these families. So that's indicative of why you're seeing the 97 coming down to three missing people still. So really the spirit of the first responders in that community, I've been in touch with a few of them there. There's some teams here from Tennessee that Task Force 1 and 2 are coming down there to help. They've got people from other countries there helping. So the surge of resources, I think, has been really instrumental in making this progress that we're seeing there in Texas.
And Jason, what might come next after these final missing people are found?
Well, just the gut-wrenching process of all these funerals, particularly for the children, but any loss of life is terrible. So I think in the coming days, you'll see once the final victims are recovered, and we're seeing this now, the federal response and complementing the Texas Division of Emergency Management there. FEMA's on the ground, and they're working with the state and the locals to support the recovery efforts. So the cleanup continues, and the rebuilding will start. And it's a partnership, really, Danny, with the federal government, but mostly the state government, the local responders, and the faith-based organizations there that come in and help in times like these. So there's a lot of things going on at the same time, whether that's the recovery of the victims that are still going on here or the cleanup and the other parts of the recovery that they have.
And Jason, given your experience in both emergency response and disaster coordination, what stood out to you about the Central Texas floods in terms of response challenges? And I mean, are there places that you've identified that could likely be improved?
Well, certainly if you look, Danny, at all the responses, the major responses in the country over the past 30 to 40 years, there's been best practices that have been implemented after that. After Katrina, the lawmakers, the Congress passed a law to kind of supplement the Stafford Act. After Sandy, there was some changes implemented as far as mitigation goes. So I think you'll see these changes. Right now, they're still in the recovery phase, and the local officials there promised a thorough review. I think what stands out to me is just how fast that this came, and just the speed and the amount of water all at once. So it was really just in the time of night. It was just really a horrific storm out there. And I think the first responders and the people down there that you don't see are taking a lot of this home with them behind the scenes. And it's something that they're never going to forget. And it's going to be one of those calls that's going to stick with them forever.
Just quickly, Jason, do you feel as though we're now closer to relief coming to some of these communities?
Well, Danny, in my experience with FEMA, I mean, people will never be the same. This is going to be a super traumatic event. It already has been. And I think the time will heal a little bit. You'll never forget it, but it'll help you get through it. Between the community support, the resilience of the first responders, and the faith that people have in that area, I think that faith gives this grief a place to land. And I think that's what a lot of people in the hill country are counting on these days.
Yeah, well said. And I think also how you began our conversation just noting that we nationally and certainly locally, we just can't forget this community that suffered so much. Jason Pack, thank you so much for your time this morning. Really do appreciate it. And heavy rain triggered flash flooding across Maryland, Virginia, and Washington, D.C. on Saturday, leading to dozens of water rescue